Hey songbirds, it's Jackie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are looking for hope, health, and help, then look no further. You've come to the right place. Well, Happy New Year to you. I hope that you have had a great start to year 2024. We've had a lot of big changes in our neck of the woods, including having a new church start, which is so exciting. And with that comes a lot of amazing opportunities, especially in the music world. And I started to think, there were some posts that started to pop up, which are kind of old posts, but they were brought to the front of my mind from some friends on my timeline. And they were talking a lot about different hymns and the decline of the use of hymns in church, but also the decline of choral music as well as membership in choirs. And I knew that that was already starting to happen pre-COVID, but I think COVID really started to exasperate that and make it worse over time. And the sad thing is even though we're on the other end of 2020, we're still experiencing some of the effects of that time period. And many of us try desperately to think of and come up with healthy solutions to get back together as a community, especially in doing music together, because it's so important to worship together, but especially to be around one another and have that fellowship. And you can call me crazy if you want, but I have a feeling that Satan had a great hand in not just stopping everything in the church for growth, but also in the fact that it took so long to get things back going again. And unfortunately, it looks like we've really seen a decrease in the number of members in choirs. And for the Bible saying so many times how important it is to have worship and music, I don't think it's any coincidence that it took so long for us to get back started again. And some choirs have not fully come back from that, and some may never recover. And that is just so sad to me, because I grew up in choir. I was raised by the choir practically. My father is a music minister, and my grandparents and all of my family worship with music in some way, shape, or form. And they've been given a gift and they use it for God. And it's been such a blessing in my life. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm on a mission in 2024 to get more people singing again. So if you're starting your New Year's resolutions or you're setting goals for yourself, let this be a big sign for you to start singing again. And I don't care where you start, it just matters that you start. And one of the best ways to do that is by using some great wise words from John Wesley, who's one of my favorite hymn composers and authors. He is just fabulous, and he's got some great directions for singing that I'm going to create a series over. And so if this has been, kind of something that you've always wanted to do, maybe you've taken a break from singing for a while, or maybe you've never done anything musical before, maybe this is your time to start. So I'm going to say what his first recommendation for directions for singing is. And that first one is learn these tunes before you learn any others. And then afterwards, learn as many as you please. And what I think he meant by that is to learn the words through hymns. And I've got several hymnals. I'm kind of a collector of sorts, and I love them so much. My favorite songs are in there. They're songs that have carried me in times of sorrow, and they are songs that have really celebrated with me in times of joy. But it doesn't matter where you start. Just look at thrift stores. I found them many times at thrift stores. I'm sure your churches would be very generous to let you borrow any copies if you had a need to do that. And also online. You can do anything online. A simple Google search will help you find the hymns that you want to get started with, preferably ones that you really like already, so they're familiar to you. And then they're also on YouTube, and I can link some of those examples below. On YouTube, there are several examples of hymns, your favorite ones. I mean, there's no shortage of resources for you. And you can just type in your favorite hymn and it can pull it up. And sometimes they even have the sheet music or the score right there so you can follow along. The neat thing about our church starting is a lot of people have been pushing past their comfort zones because we have needs to fill. And so some people have started singing that have never sung before, or maybe never even played an instrument before. So I don't want to hear from anybody, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to do it. Just get started. Plus, this series is going to be a great place for you because I've got 6 more just incredible examples and directions for singing that will also give you some tips and tools if it's been a while and you got to dust off the chops a little bit, or if you have never tried it before but you've always been curious. I have a story that I want to share with you about why I'm so passionate about this. And it's a story of a gentleman whose wife was starting the early stages of Alzheimer's, and she was actually quite young. And she was getting to a point in her life where she couldn't remember her name, she couldn't remember who he was as her husband, and couldn't even remember her children, her daughters. And he saw the panic in her face when she was starting to realize that her memory was going. And he didn't know what to say to her to comfort her. But the one thing that kept pressing on his mind was to ask her the scriptures. And he simply asked her, "What's John 3:16?" And she said, "For God so loved the world," without hesitation. And then he asked her, "What's Romans 8:28?" And she continued on, "I know that all things work together." No shortage in her memory whatsoever. And even went on with Jeremiah, and she could recite them word for word. And you know what is amazing to me is that part, the scriptures, the word of God, especially enhanced by music, is tucked away in a part of the brain that not even a disease or anyone else can touch. And that's something that nobody can take away from you. And I don't know what you're dealing with today, or if you're just really looking for some hope or a sign to start something new. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to just get started and get singing again. And I know someone wise once told me, opportunities, they come to pass. They don't come to pause. So I hope that you'll take this moment and get started singing again. The time for singing of the birds has come. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribing will help to ensure that every time a video comes up, you will be notified. And there's several more in this series. And don't hesitate to ask any questions in the comment section below or reach out to me privately, and I'll be glad to help you on your journey as we get you singing again in 2024. It's going to be a gift for you. It's going to be a gift for your community and the people around you. And it's also a way to give thanks to the one that's given the gift. No matter what side of the bed you woke up on this morning, my friends, you can always end your day on a high note. Bye, guys.